After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 450. Today is Saturday, April 17th, 2021, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad to have you with us, and we hope you find something you enjoy so you will return. If you are returning, we always are glad to see you back here, see in quotes. If you are new or returning and in the shadows, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. You hit the little subscription button gently and tap the little bell so you can get notifications if you'd like to do that. And if you'd like to take part in all the alongs and camaraderie and all that fun kind of stuff, that's done over at the podcast home group, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and it's in that little description box below the video. Okay? All the information, pertinent information, is in the little description box under the video. What do we do from here?
How many projects do you have?
I have 7.
I have 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I had that many. I'm actually surprised I do. Okay, so that puts me first, which is a shame because I have a cool mug that's new. But we both have Sweet Amsterdam, Caramel Cinnamon, Stroop Waffle Organic, and actually we both have the same tea. You might as well show your mug first because I'll talk about the tea. I want to kind of save my mug for last, and because we're doing the same of everything this time, it doesn't really matter.
This was a gift from my friend, very lovely friend, Crystal from Crochet, Chronically Crocheting. She gave this to me along with a bag. It was a very nice gift. And in it we have
chocolate mint, like the cookie, oolong tea.
Oh my gosh, it is so amazingly
I haven't
good.
tasted it yet. Enjoy a treat. It's got oolong tea, black tea, cocoa pieces, cocoa peel, peppermint, roasted coconut chips, vanilla/mint essence. Has caffeine. No love or gratitude.
I'm sure it's in there. It is amazing. I already tasted it because it smelled so good. I have to, as soon as I get off the podcast, I'm going to order some more.
So this is a mug that I actually got from Plum Deluxe. Here's the top of it. It covers the top of the mug. And this, I had to get it when I saw it.
It's adorable.
Look at the bunny.
It was an Easter thing.
Yes, and I was afraid it would go away. And they said that they think he looks like a Chester. So, here's the Chester. Oh, that is good. That is really good.
Yeah. Emma, in the interest of not going through my tea too quickly, I'm going to have 1 cup and stick with water, no matter how forlorn I sound. Okay. Emma and I were having a conversation. She told me I should probably have 2 cups of tea, which is probably absolutely right.
And we used to do that when we had smaller cups of tea. But we also do we run long, or we just took longer time because of whatever? Oh, we weren't doing it on the weekend.
Right.
It was back when I was working night shifts, so we would do it. Oops, it's a bunny.
Okay.
We used to do it on like Tuesdays or something.
Guys, you have to bear with me because I've been having technical difficulties, and for whatever reason, my documents are not going into my Kindle. So I'm having to do this off an email, which means I have to do it sideways so I can read it. And it's not as steady. Okay?
Do you want to use my thing? It's steadier.
Sideways? Oh.
This thing's really steady. I want it back though.
It's not an issue. Yeah, that'll work a lot
Isn't
better.
that nice?
Yep. I may have to get
I'm glad I accidentally brought it with me. I have no idea where I got it from.
I have to look it up. Okay, so let's go on to our...
I feel like y'all might have given it to me.
Let's go on to our alongs and things, okay? And if I've forgotten something, please let me know. To all the winners who contact me, I now have heard from all the winners. I haven't had a chance to package everything up. Part of it, I will be completely transparent, has been laziness. I just didn't want to pull out my scale and get everything all done. I'm for someone who's staying home because of this pandemic, you would think I have a lot of time. I don't. Everything is like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, I can't, as Laura would say, I can't even. Okay. One thing I just didn't feel like doing extra. So it will go out now that I have everybody's stuff. Okay. Thank you for getting back to me. Now, we have the PHN Christmas All Year Long, Cal Cal Lao. That means crocheting, knitting, and loom knitting along. And this is all year, as I said. It started January 1st and will end January 1st of 2022, which means once we hit, the morning of 2022, it's done. Like we always say, because we have people all over the place, if we should close it, if we should have it open and you guys cross over till that day, if it's still open, go ahead and put your stuff in. That's our error.
Right. Or it might just be
the time, because I know like some of us, we have somebody in Malaysia, we have someone in Australia, you guys might hit the next day before we do.
Right.
So you can still put your stuff in. You have a little grace period.
But on the flip side, if you run behind us, you might not get your full day. So
right. So try to get everything in before that time, because we have a moderator in Holland, I think we do, and we have one in Texas and one in Georgia. So we have people all over the place. So, be aware.
Everyone's in a different zone.
Okay. Previous whips are allowed for this along, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures are on the same thread. 1 whip per project per week in the FO whenever it's completed. And we do have prizes. We already have given off 1/4's worth of prizes. And I will talk about that in a second. I want to continue with the rules. As always, our featured patterns and featured yarns are pretty much the same. Franciscan Gypsy Designs patterns, Lady Fernicle Creations yarn or my shawl pattern, Lollipop Girl yarns or Laura Concert Designs patterns will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the finished object. And if you, use a featured yarn with a featured pattern for a finished object, that's 3 chances at a prize. As always, you are responsible for your multiple postings, because thankfully we have a fairly good sized group.
Yes.
And we can't keep up with it. So you guys can do that on your own. We have wonderful moderators and wonderful people. You all know this. So, okay. Now, it's hashtag PHN Christmas All Year 2021 on Instagram. And if an FO uses 50 yards or less, please post it with another FO of 50 yards or more. And you guys have been fantastic about this. Thank you very much. We're not going to go around saying, oh, they didn't do it. No, you guys, we trust you. You're on the honor system, and you guys are amazing. So, projects are made predominantly in Christmas colors, and this is for our, not only for all of us who do Christmas, but for those of us who don't celebrate Christmas. We want you to be able to take part, so we have Christmas colors that are going to be gifted, items that are going to be gifted, okay? So we're talking about shades of red, blue, green. Maybe I should read this because I started. Red, blue, green, white, silver, gold, purple, pink. Those are the colors that are eligible. It's in the thread on the PHN home, so you can look at that. And those are eligible for 2 chances at prize for the FO only. And if you use a Christmas themed yarn or pattern, it's not a featured thing, but that's eligible for being used.
Right.
So, all right, now the second quarter prizes, we have some pink cotton yarn, Cloudborne yarn, and a small pink bag that goes together. And then we have some Plymouth yarn. It's 3 skeins, and that's the second prize for the second quarter. Okay, and we are grateful for our donators, because we can't give the prizes that you guys get that are amazing unless we have help, and we have had amazing help both with prizes and with funding of shipping. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Autism Awareness 2021 is going strong. I like seeing bright colored things pop up.
Yes.
It makes me really happy. And I've seen some things in my yarn which makes me very happy. I saw a project and see the potential pop up. I know I've seen some other ones. I just can't remember what they are off the top of my head, because Talia's not the only one who has fog. So, okay. This is, as I said, Autism Awareness Month. Most of you, if you're not new, know that my other daughter is on the autistic spectrum. She is Asperger's syndrome and developmental delays, among other things. And so this is a very important thing for me. We aren't doing a lot of the awareness that we usually do because we've done that. We've been doing this for I don't know how many years, 7 years or something like that. So I don't want to be the dead horse. I might, Ty and I might do a few things as we go, as it hits us, but most of it's going to be anecdotal. So that, stuff that we've seen with Davina or experienced or whatever.
You were talking about being a dead horse, and then I thought of Animal Farm and that really sweet horse that they turned to glue.
Why would you have to do that? I was happy.
I don't know. I just thought of him.
Bad person.
Maybe we'll think of Bill the Pony instead.
Bad person.
Wait, I don't want to think of Bill the Pony instead.
What?
Nothing. Ignore me.
Why do you want to kill Bill the Pony?
I don't want to kill Bill the Pony.
What's wrong with you?
I have a headache developing.
You're a pain in my neck. Okay, let's move this along because she might be coming into a migraine. We don't
Hopefully not.
Okay. So this starts April 1st and ends June 30th. And unless it's ready, set, go, normally everything is allowed, whips included. But you have to follow the parameters, of course, which means that they have to be bright color. And for us, it's usually about 85% bright colored. The hashtag is PHNAA2021. And our co-host, Laura's been doing this. I said we've been doing this about 7 years, and I think Laura's been doing it with us for about 5 or 6. So she's been doing it with us for a long time. So, she's our co-host, and she's amazing. We're glad to have her with us. You have to check her rules and her, you can check with her to see how she's working that, okay? Let's see. As always, knitted loom. Okay, I'm not going to repeat things that are the same for other things. Let's see. If something is not predominantly bright colored, that's going to be moved to the show off thread or somewhere else where people can ooh and ah over it, but not stay in the autism awareness where it throws off my count. So, okay. We have our normal featured yarns and patterns with the addition of the Braided Bright cowl pattern by 10 Hours or Less, and the Autism Awareness Bare and Weighted Lap Pad by a Modest Creation, which is formerly Miss World, and that can be found on Etsy and Ravelry. Okay, and George's stuff can be found on 10 Hours or Less, his site, or Ravelry. Okay. They have been amazingly supportive in the past for us, so we want to keep supporting them. Any of the bright color is acceptable, but those were the featured patterns and things. All right. We have a wonderful prize that was donated, and I do have other prizes. I just haven't put it in my notes yet, so you guys will have to wait. Sorry. Donated by Looney Hiker. That's Pat. She's once again donated from her patterns, and she has some really beautiful patterns. So she's going to donate one of her patterns of your choice. So if you win that, you would contact her with the choice, okay? And I believe she said she's on Lovecrafts and Ravelry.
You're going to ask where they would find her patterns to make a choice.
Okay. Now this one is not our baby. This is the Comfort Along, and this is we're the platform, and we are 100% behind it, but it's not our baby, okay? This is Wombat of Doom, who is Patty, and B-Wing, who's Brittany, and this is the Comfort Along, okay? And the main purpose of this is to make specific items for donations to Comforting Crafts. Okay, Brittany is very charity oriented, which is amazing. Okay, this runs March 1st through midnight, June 30th, 2021, and this is Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so they actually put Eastern Standard Time. So if you're behind, you know to get in before that. Okay,
there's plenty of ways to check your times in against EST.
Now I'm going to read theirs because it's slightly different. No previous whips are allowed. So it must be, the whips have to be started March 1st or later. Items eligible for the Comfort Along can be knit, crocheted, or loom knit. And specific items they're concentrating on dishcloths, washcloths, and hats. And hat sizes can be from young child through adult. There's a greater need for boys' colors or gender neutral. And they ask you to keep that in mind. Although, of course, females need hats too. But, please, if you have the neutrals and the darker colors for boys and men, that would be, appreciated. Patterns like Fits the Whole Fam hat by the Cozy Up Knits ladies is perfect since they are so stretchy and they're suitable for many sizes, okay? Chattering pictures on the same thread, 1 WIP per project per week, the FO whenever it's completed. And if you are in the Comforting Crafts Facebook group, feel free to post your pictures there as well. The prizes will be randomly generated through the PHN thread for this along, okay? And so far they have 2 skeins of Dishy yarn, dishcloth pattern booklets, and handmade greeting cards by Brittany. So those are awesome. And like I said, Ty and I may find something that we can add to that
Right.
as we go along. We just have to think about it. There's plenty of time. So let's see. Hashtag for Instagram will be hashtag PHN Comfort Along 2021. And you contact Brittany for mailing addresses for the completed items. Okay, so that takes care of all of our longs. And now I get to actually eat my stroopwafel.
Yes. So that gets us into...
Ty, when this settles, it even gets better.
Yeah, it does. Take another drink.
And I meant to eat this before the podcast, but
I didn't.
we're running late.
Okay.
So I apologize. Sort of.
Let's see. First project. Let me get my shirt notes out. Because I do 2 for the first, and then it's every other.
But this is a good stroop.
You know what I'm trying to say. 2 and then 1 and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Well, of course, I show the design first. And by show the design, I mean I wave the bag at your face. In my Silvershed USA Peanuts Christmas bag is the Christmas stocking design. It's the only design I've worked on all week. It's been really hard this year to work much on designs. I've been having a lot of fatigue. So having the brain power to work on things. Plus, I've been in a selfish knitting mood out when I'm not working on Rosary, so I kind of make myself work on designs. It's been a long time since I've wanted to just work on like big projects, and when I want to, I want to. Also, sometimes I can think enough to knit and maybe stay awake, but I can't think enough to work on anything that
Critical
requires...
thinking.
Huh?
Critical thinking.
Yeah. It reminds me I need to fix a chart on that pattern.
I made a note, though.
I did make a note. Let me go ahead and find the other one. In my Pod Blue ginormous Batgirl bag. It was a special order. As far as I know, I don't even know if she's open anymore.
I don't know.
If she is, this was not one that she originally offered. I don't know if she would be offering it now. It was originally a Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl bag, and I asked for just Batgirl.
So these pockets actually do work.
Oh yeah, unless I think she took like actual jeans.
Yeah.
It's a really nice.
I like the bag.
I really do. It's a nice.
I didn't know there was a pocket up here.
A zipper one, yeah. I've never actually used it.
Yeah, it'd be good for your DPNs or whatever, you know. She makes a really good bag.
It'd be good. Actually, I should put my Notions pouch in there when I need to.
She really makes a wonderful bag, and you can see how big the pocket is.
Yeah. So this one, she's made me 2. I actually like this one better than that one. That one's a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
And it's not quite as sturdy. It's still sturdy, but it's not the same material.
Well, this is denim.
Exactly. So I just happen to like the style of this one better.
Reminds me of a hobo bag, even though I know it's not really.
She actually she made the night one based on my preferences. She cut out a silhouette. It's exactly a silhouette from Hush.
It's a beautiful bag.
It is. Well, her husband was super excited when I sent the picture, and it was one from Hush because he could tell I was actually a comic fan. Mm-hmm. So apparently that excited her husband terribly. So this is my, this is all Case Fault mitered square blanket, and this comes from the mitered square blanket. Well, it was not a pattern at the time, it was still a recipe.
A lot of things are Case Fault.
And this was one of the, this one I started before the one that I actually finished. But this one's actually supposed to be a bed size. Mm-hmm. Didn't get very much done on it this time, just still working on this square.
This is pretty.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that one comes from.
I don't know if this is Marigold Jen's, Dragonfly Fibers, or mine. I know I did one like this, but I'm not sure that's mine. I don't think so. Maybe? I don't know.
I don't think so. I can't remember.
I think it might be Miracle Jen. Or maybe Dragonfly Fibers. I don't know.
It's not Dragonfly.
I think it's Miracle Jen.
It might have been one I got from somebody, in which case I wouldn't know who it is.
Yeah.
Because I got quite a bit of mini skeins from people for this blanket.
Nightwing.
Yes. So, yeah, this got very little work done on it. It was like Easter week, it was all I wanted to work on. And then the next week, it was like,
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Yeah, exactly. I got it out of my system.
I'm tired now.
That week was all I wanted to work on. And then, like, this week, I was like, I don't want to work on this. Like, hardly at all. So I didn't.
Okay. And I apologize if I'm kind of sniffling. My allergies are acting up for some reason. But anyway. In my Plover Bird Mickey Mouse small medium bag is my Spoiled Bunny Stomp.
Small medium bag?
Yeah, I'm not sure what size it is. Because she was changing sizes, I think. And where's my hook?
I would determine that as small. Well, I guess...
It's like between a small and a medium.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits a shawl, not just socks and
Yeah.
stuff. So, or not a shawl, but a scarf type thing. So I made a little bit of progress on this. Generally, you guys know by now that if you've been with us for a while, I generally work on this during the podcast. Or if I have to wait, like in a waiting room or something. And this is Test Designer Yarns, Superwash Merino. And this is a huge worsted weight skein. It's like 590 yards or something. I have this much left. I'm going to try to go to the end of this. It might be too long to do that, but we'll see. Maybe I should have made it a little bit wider. But it's a nice width. I don't like scarves to be too wide.
Yeah.
And you can they can actually, if it's too long, they can actually loop it a few times.
It's funny. It's like I want to like scarves, but I'm that person who I'll get my scarf caught under my purse and it'll try to strangle me. I'm just not very coordinated with scarves. I'm too dangerous with them. I'm that person who likes strangle themselves.
See, I like scarves, but I prefer cowls, especially the ones that I can loop like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
Because I don't like it like up.
No.
I don't like the ones that are up against my throat. I feel like I can't breathe. So, but I like the longer ones, which is why I tend to make the longer ones that can be looped, and it's more like it's kind of lays.
Right.
But that's this.
Okay, so for me, the next one is... Make sure...
I lost my show notes here.
Yeah, that's what the next one is. Okay. In my Silver Shed USA Tree Frogs bag is my Buttercups and Bluebells Field project, and it's the On the Forest Floor pattern by Simone Carit.
That's a great pattern.
And this is the one that I am choosing to lengthen it and leave out the bottom large eyelet holes. And I always leave out the twigs after the first one.
That one's bright enough for the autism awareness.
It is, and it's supposed to match Color Cat that I have already finished a long time ago.
I think if Davina did wear shawls, she'd want to have that.
Yeah. Well, I know she liked the colors for my light blue one, which really isn't my normal colors. This at least kind of
The one
falls
with
in
chirp
my...
and everything in it?
Yeah.
Really? I guess that's in her colors.
It is in her colors, because you think about it, it's all the light, bright blues.
Right.
Which I don't generally wear.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shawl.
But I fell in love with especially that gray blue.
Yeah, I love that gray. That's beautiful. You have to tell me what that is.
I have it in my notes
Is that Miss Babs or Dragonfly?
It's Miss Babs.
Okay, so I can't pick it up if I want to.
But this one's not as surprising because I do wear a lot of yellow. So no one will be shocked with this one. But the other one, it really isn't in my shades. I just fell in love with one color and I was too selfish to give it to anyone else. Not that if she wore shawls, it might have been different.
Right, and she doesn't. And for me, I love blues and greens and grays and stuff, but that's not quite my shade either. I like, this. And,
Yeah, that's usually like this. This is usually what I would.
Yeah, I like this. I like. Well, look at my blues. See, my blues. So we got the memo for the blues today, huh?
Yeah. So
Was to say no one leaves without singing the blues.
I think I only did like a row on it because it does it. The rows. I'm at the point where the rows take a long time.
Right.
So when I did work on it, it was mostly on Sunday.
Right.
So there we go.
We have to remember to add that to our stash enhancement, our class. We won't show anything, but
Yeah, there's nothing to show.
no. Let me just fasten this off somewhat so it's not. I'm not going to lose my stitch. I do love this pattern because it's just, I can just go. You know, it can be talking or whatever. I probably, you know, just with some looking down on occasion, I can probably do this in the dark of a movie theater.
You see, I don't think crochet is very good for that.
It's not.
Because you need to, unlike with knitting where all your stitches are on a needle and you can feel them against the needle,
Right.
crochet, it's all the fabric, so it makes it harder.
I would have to look down for my placement.
Yeah, until it couldn't be in the dark.
Yeah, it was. Well, I can. Yeah, depending
You
on
need to be able to see.
depending on how complex. This one might not be a good one to do because you have to do so many stitches in the same hole and you have to find the hole.
Well, the problem
But-
is with crochet is it's all fabric. There's nothing to tell you that this is the one stitch, whereas your stitches are separated and on something hard for knitting. So it really does lend itself more towards not looking.
I think I could do something like if I was just doing round and round and round for a toy, I would just have to look for the placement of the needle. I could look.
But again, you could watch a movie, but not necessarily in the dark.
It depends on how dark the theater is.
Yeah, you have to be able to at least see a little bit.
All right, my next one is. Do you need to do two or
No.
Okay.
I do my first two, and
Alright.
because I'm not that many more than you.
Okay, this one I haven't shown in a couple of weeks because when I looked at it, I realized I was going to run out of yarn. And actually, I was able to get to the next row before I ran out of yarn. But my tea is starting to get cold. All right, don't like that. In my Knitter's Magic, that's our local yarn store in Winchester, Virginia. So if you are there, Laura Gavis is the proprietor, and right now she's mostly doing curbside and mail out. She has a Facebook page, or is it a page or is it a?
I'm pretty sure it's a page.
Okay, so
I'm
anyway,
not absolutely certain.
she does live things where you can call in, and you know if you get.
I don't know if she mails out of state or not.
I would think she does.
Okay, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Because I know it's hard to tell. I don't know.
I would think she does, but you'd have to contact her and ask. She's amazing. She carries my yarn, yay! But she also carries other people's yarns. She carries me and another local, and then she carries things like Madeline Tosh and Malabrigo and other things like that. So, if you're ever in the Winchester area, you might want to stop in and call ahead so you can do a curbside pickup, and she will be more than happy to help you. But that's where I got this bag. She carries bags, she carries kits, she carries yarn, notions, patterns. It's a little tiny shop, but it's very friendly, and she has a good variety, very good variety for her size of her shop. Now this is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch blanket knitting. So I added another skein of yarn, and this is my Bare Necessities color. I just like the idea of having kind of a classic baby blanket. And you can see the pattern.
I'm sure they'll love the idea of having to clean my classic baby blankets.
It's superwash. So yeah, it's a very, I love 5410 because 5410 has things that look pretty and they're not hard. I mean, they have some things that are more complex, but I must have 85% of the patterns. Maybe not quite so much now because I haven't kept up as much as I used to because I'm not on Ravelry anymore. But when they show things on Instagram and stuff like that, I go and I look, and 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I'll pick it up. They do a lot of bulky. They do multiple sizes.
Now, how many of their projects have you finished?
None.
Just thought I'd, point
But that is not the fault of them. It's not hard. It really isn't. I just don't like to knit blankets. So they are doomed from the beginning. So
She gets really tempted by them,
yep.
by this particular designer.
If you enjoy knitting blankets, I highly recommend 5410.
Especially if you want something that's apparently fun and mindless.
Yeah, I really enjoy this. So, and this one I think might be the first one I finish because it's not difficult.
Well, it looks like it's eons of garter.
Yeah, it's got a fair amount of garter. It's got a little bit of stockinette. It's got it so it doesn't curl, and I'm just really happy with that. I might even, after I'm done with this, maybe dye up some bulky weight yarn and make a gift out of it because I like the pattern. It's really a nice pattern. I just have to sit down and do it.
Yeah, don't make any crazy plans like that at this point.
Yeah, not
Until you finish your first one.
Yeah, but it's a nice. I can't say enough. I contacted them one time, and I'm not really sure how big they are, but to me they're big. You know, not huge big, but big. And I contacted them one time, and they got right back to me, and they were amazingly sweet and very, very nice. So if you're looking for a project like this, I highly recommend 5410.
Okay, so now it's me, and
I was not paid.
so she says, in my Silver Shed USA Oops is a Bunny bag. Oops.
Oh, yeah, I'm in the middle of a stitch. You made me split my stitch.
She lost the game.
You made me split my stitch.
Darn, I thought of the game.
What?
I lost the game because I thought of the game.
What are you talking about?
People in about my age group will know. It was something that went around when I was in college. Adam does this sometimes. He'll just go around like, darn, I lost the game. And I just made a bunch of people lose it. If you think of the game, you've lost the game. That's exactly what the game is. So you have to try. If you forget about the game, you're good. But the minute you think about the game, you've lost the game.
What's the quote?
When you think of the game, you lost the game. Or I think it's actually what they usually say. If you think of the game, you've lost the game. Yeah. It was something that was going around in college, and then people just go like randomly, darn, I lost the game. Or someone would just say something, and someone would go like, you made me lose the game.
Okay.
It was a weird thing that was...
I can make use of that. Okay. Writer things. Okay.
Oh, okay. Like I said, unless they're in my age group, they might not get it.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
I want to see Steve scratch his head. Virtually speaking.
Anyway, in my so in my Silver Shed USA Oops the Bunny bag is the Sunday Funnies sock that I'm making for Mom. The pattern
excuse me.
You are. The pattern is the Dance All Night socks.
You made a lot of progress with that? Looks like you made a lot of progress.
Last time I was right before the heel.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, no. Last time I was finished with the heel flap. I needed to do the heel turn.
Oh, okay.
So I did the heel turn, picked up my gusset stitches, and I'm now on the foot.
So do you hold the stitches, or how?
Yeah, what you do, and this isn't giving anything away because all sock patterns do this. So you knit down your leg, and then you end up putting aside half your stitches for later, and then you do the back half, or I mean, usually people will just use their front half stitches, and you will use that to make your heel flap. And then you do your heel turn, pick up your stitches along the sides, do the gusset, do your decreases until you're back down to the number of stitches you had in your leg originally. And then you knit to the bottom of your foot.
Why are there numbers in math? Why are there letters in math?
What?
That's just what it made me think of, because I understood absolutely nothing of that.
But I didn't say any letters in math.
No, that's
I know it's an algebra joke, but it didn't fit.
It fit, because I didn't understand a word you said. That's okay. I will look it up. I'm actually going to go look at Kay's tutorial.
It made sense. It really
Well,
did.
you have to understand, I don't know what you're talking about. I could follow the words, but it's like someone says, I understand the meaning of the words, but I don't understand what you're saying.
So, say you have 72 stitches here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a wooden, that's for a sock pattern, but 72 stitches. Then down here, you go down to 36.
Okay.
You work 36 stitches for your heel flap.
Okay.
Then you decrease down to whatever number that they tell you to. Usually they have you decrease down until, they have you decrease down until, I can't remember, my brain's not working.
That's okay.
They have you decrease down to basically a point. And then...
For the toe?
No. This is for the, it depends on what kind of heel you're
Right.
doing. But there's, as you can see, there's a little point
Oh, yeah, I see
here.
it. Mm-hmm.
So then after that point, what you're left with is, okay, so you had stopped knitting here.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so you got this flap hanging out there.
Right.
From your knitting.
Like a tongue.
Like your tongue, yeah. And here's the leg of your sock.
Right.
What you have to do then is you have to pick up stitches along the sides. So you connect this the top point of your heel turn here on your heel flap back down here to the bottom of your sock, so it's a complete circle again.
Okay.
So you have so you got stitches here. Now you've picked up stitches along here. You got the stitches that you originally held here, and then you have stitches that you pick up here. You keep decreasing until you're back down to the same number of stitches, your original 72 stitches you had for the leg.
Okay.
And then you just knit across. So this
for the foot,
exactly.
Sounds complicated.
It sounds more complicated than it actually is.
I'm gonna go to school.
I was hoping that would make some more sense.
It did a little bit, but I'm gonna go to school with Kay. She'll help me with it.
I like the way that I'm not a huge fan of the wrap and turn for the heel. I prefer just a nice simple
gusset.
Heel flap, heel turn, and gusset. Yeah, a lot of them.
Don't they all have a gusset?
They all have a gusset, but there's ways that you can do the heel. When you're doing your turn, your turn for the heel, where you can do a wrap and turn. But I don't prefer to do it that way. I just prefer to do the way where you just don't do wrap and turn. I don't really know how to explain what I'm trying to say.
No, that's okay. You don't like to do wrap and turn. You like to do something else.
I don't like the way it looks as much.
Right.
I
only want it to fit right. I don't really care how,
Well, it's not even... I say look, but there's a certain way that... I know I like the way this heel feels.
Right. Well, that's the one you made for my socks all the time, so I must like them.
Well, it's pretty consistent along most patterns that I happen to knit. So, anyway.
Oh, no, it finally came to my head. Megan's, I keep trying to think what it is. Fish lips kiss heel.
I'm not a huge fan of afterthought heels, because basically all they are a toe that people added on where a heel's going to be, and your toe and your heel aren't the same shape.
Right.
So I'm just not terribly fond of that.
Is that what that is? An afterthought? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, not this one, but
no, the fish lips.
I believe it is.
I can never say that.
And I might be wrong, but I personally am not a fan of an afterthought heel.
I think Kay likes an umbrella toe.
She created the umbrella toe.
She created it?
Yeah.
But I don't know what her favorite heel is.
She's created an umbrella heel, too.
Okay, I was wondering, yeah.
But she does a lot of heels, but she tends to knit heels that I like to knit. She has a similar preference to that I do, so... I'm usually pretty confident that if she knits a heel, I'm going to like it.
I'm generally pretty confident that she does anything. I'm going to, even if I might not want to knit it because I'm not there yet, or it's not what I want to do, I generally like and get the way Kay does things.
She likes things a little lacier than I do.
Yeah, me too. I prefer cables.
But this is one sock.
Says the person who's doing a Surabel for the 50,000th time.
And then here is the second one. So then I'll focus again on mine once I'm done with yours.
And what color are you doing yours in again?
Oh, mine is some Mad Tosh. I had picked up that one-of-a-kind collection where I would get like one-of-a-kind, and they sent me a bunch, and there are a few that are a similar color. So that's where that comes from.
I'm going to have to see if they offer that again, a one-of-a-kind.
They really, for Mad Tosh, it's worth it.
Yeah. It's a little expensive for me to pay, but if I have birthday money or something, maybe I'll do that. Because I do like... I don't want you to get the impression...
Because it was a surprise box. You didn't know what color you'd get.
I don't want people to think I don't like Mad Tosh. I just like Malabrigo just as much. And so...
Whereas I have a strong preference for Mad Tosh. Okay, so yeah, that's it with these socks.
My turn here. Let me put this away.
And I actually didn't mean to start knitting on this again.
Excuse me, guys. Okay. My next one is in my silver... Excuse me. That's better. Oh boy, that really... He nailed this. He really did. Okay, in my Silver Shed USA Black and Blue Star Wars bag is my On the Garden Path scarf project. Okay? And this is just... It's a modified design that I did for myself a while back. I was going to write it up, but I think I'm going to just finish this one and then see if I can work it in a lighter yarn so I can see better what I'm doing.
Right.
Because this is a beautiful yarn. This is James C. Brett, and it's absolutely gorgeous, but I can't see what I'm doing.
Right.
And it really doesn't matter how I do the pattern because you can't see it.
Yeah.
So, I'm using...
Well, dark yarns are not best for patterning.
Yeah, but I do love this color. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I have the sweater you did for me is almost like this color, almost. That gray sweater that the duster.
Yes. Yes, it's very cool.
Taya made me a duster. It was early on, and because it's shells, it kind of stretches.
Well, and also, I think I did. I'm not sure if I did a gauge swatch.
Right.
I must have.
I absolutely love that sweater, but it goes down to my feet almost because it stretches. But I absolutely love it. I can only wear it during the winter. I can wear it like a
You
house coat.
always forget to grab it when you're
I'm gonna have to put it where I can see it because it's put in the back of my closet to the side.
You need to put where you can see it so you can think of it when you're cold.
In the wintertime.
Yeah.
Because it's perfect. 'Cause I don't want to walk around in a robe. But
Yeah.
that's like, it's a duster. It's kind of a robe, but it's not really, you know?
It doesn't look like a robe.
It doesn't look like a robe. So, but anyway, I'm using large needles and large yarn. And, you know, when it's done, it may be a cowl and it may be a scarf. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Well, that leaves you.
Okie dokie. So next for me is yes. So this was a special request from somebody. I wish I could remember who, but they were like, "I haven't seen your yellow sweater in a while," so I remedied that in my Knitter's Magic Soft Happy Bag. Is my Canary Song project. The pattern is Comfort Yourself with Your Music by Joanna Johnson. It comes from Little Women Knits. I actually got quite a bit knit on it.
You sure did. Oh, isn't it pretty?
I got the first armhole done.
She doesn't like lacy.
No, actually I don't. It really isn't my preference. But I
really love that sweater.
I like the sweater.
Ty is probably gonna have to do it for me because I will probably mess up on that.
So it goes this is a side to side. That's not giving away anything. There's only one armhole. That kind of that's kind of a dead giveaway.
I may try it anyway. So I have the yarn for it. So,
but yes, I would recommend you finish one of the other two first though, because
it's the lace stuff. I have
it's the lace stuff and I just recommend that because I want to make sure you're comfortable with it.
Yeah. Well, I also want to get all the whatever corrections you pulled out that you and I don't mean that the pattern's not written right, just for clarity. Because I don't have a very good pattern brain.
There we go. And I'm working now the center section. I have quite a bit to go on that, and then I'll do the other armhole. She calls it a blanket sweater.
That works. It's such a pretty sweater. I like it.
And it'll be nice having a sweater in this color.
You have a sweater in that color.
No, not this color.
Well,
not this yarn.
Not that yarn, but you have a color that's similar.
And it's a slightly brighter yellow. The other one.
It's more of a yellow. This is more of an orangey yellow.
Well, this is definitely yellow.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's got more.
It's got an orange undertone. Yeah. But the other one also is an acrylic. It's more of a duster too.
I like dusters.
It's not quite as long as yours. That was a Jane Richmond pattern, the other one. But yes, this has been probably the main project I've worked on most of the week.
Right.
And it kind of shows with the progress.
Okay. Let's see what my next one is.
Because even though I didn't have a lot of brain this week, the pattern is one that you can get into a rhythm with it.
Rhythm is good.
Yeah.
Rhythm's gonna get you. Rhythm's gonna get you. Okay. Let me just...
And you end up finding yourself saying, well, I'll stop when I finish this one row. And they'd be like, oh, but I just have a plain row to go. I'll just do the plain row.
Right.
And then you go, oh, I can just do another pattern row. And then when you're done with the pattern row, you tell yourself
it's addictive. It's addictive. I mean, they used to say that. I can remember when we first started like podcasting and then toward the middle when we were watching a lot of podcasts, people saying, oh, self-striping yarn is so addictive because, oh, just one more row, just one more row, just one more color. I'll wait for the color. And so before you know it, you've done half a leg of a sock or something, All right, let me...
I actually didn't find that too terribly much with, every once in a while with stripy yarn, but honestly, patterns are more likely to do that to me than the yarn itself.
I'm not a really big fan of striping yarn.
I like it for socks.
I like it for socks, and I like it maybe for like some accessories, like hats and things. I like the pooling, and I like blotches and things like that, and tonals. I mean, I think there are places for striping. I do like striping, but it's not I wouldn't go looking necessarily for a striping yarn.
I think my preference is I like my color changes to be planned, to be intentional. So I tend now, especially if I'm doing bigger projects, towards yarn that's plainer, even if it's a tonal, and then patterns that add the different colors.
Yeah, I like having if I'm using a pattern that's got, you know, things going on like cables or whatever, I tend to do a plainer yarn. But if it's something that's really just like stockinette or something, then I want something that has a little more interest in the yarn. And the exception to that is the Surabel. The Surabel really does. I look at some of the yarn, I'm like, what on earth am I going to do with this? It's going to go in a Surabel. It's either going to go in a Surabel or it's going to go in a biddy or something. So that's where kind of the exception is. But in general, both of us have kind of shying away from anything really crazy, unless it's like, you know, for socks or hat or something like that.
Right, exactly.
I like your mitts. The
the fun mitts.
The fun mitts, yeah.
Those do lend it. It's because the seed stitch really helps with that.
I keep forgetting. I thought I had another one of these. Did I drop it?
I don't know.
My other minder?
I don't know.
I don't know where it went. Well, the good thing about knitting is not like crocheting. If I don't have it, it's a smaller project. I can put it right in the middle of the cord, and it's not going to fall out. So
and it's your turn to show something.
It is. That's why I'm putting this away. Okay, this one you haven't seen in a while. Okay. This is my Not a Cozy Memories blanket from the Crochet Granny Square tutorial. This is by K.F. Jones. I tend to spend time when I have it over there, learning. I had to go back and look at the tutorial for the squares because I couldn't remember how to do it. And this
did
time
you write down the
wrote
instructions?
it down. I did. Okay, so I finished this little one. Okay, and I have several of these. All right, and I finished this big one because what I want to do is have alternate where I have like.
Oh, I see.
4 of these will fit in a big one. So this is one of the big ones. And
are they all going to be the same yarn?
Are all what going to be the same yarn?
But those two are the same yarn.
No, I just pulled it out.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of a patchwork effect.
That's good.
I'm working on, I thought I was working on one. I'm just trying to find the hook so I can, maybe I didn't start another one. Oh yeah, I did. Here it is. I'm working on this one now, this color. So I'm really happy to be working on this again. And if I decide I don't like this, I can maybe make this one blanket and this another one.
Well, I mean, honestly, this is something, if you're going to do a patchy blanket, this is the way you're going to do it probably.
Yeah, and this is Kay's fault. Kay, I wish we lived closer to Kay because I could see myself sitting down either at her kitchen table or my kitchen table or in our craft room and sitting down and talking, and she would be able to help me. I probably couldn't do anything to help her unless maybe crochet, but not much. And we just sit there, you know, and do this, and we'd have a nice cup of tea, a cuppa, and one of her decadent desserts. CK, you're gonna do all the cooking. I'll make something too. Okay, but it would be fun, you know, and you know, Ty and Dan can join if they want. But.
Oh, okay. How generous of you.
I am. So I finished these, and I started this one for this. And I'm really happy with that. This is a Knitter's Magic bag, and I have all my other yarn bags, all my other yarns that I think I'm going to use in a Maryland sheep and wool bag. I think it is. Or maybe it's Shenandoah over on the floor there. I think it's a Maryland sheep and wool bag. Has all the other skeins I'm using because it got to the point where carrying that big bag around was too much. I'm just, whatever I have in here is what I'm using. And see, I don't have any Al's bag. See? Okay.
Okay, so next for me is in my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag. And our news story for today is, let's see, I don't think we've done this one yet.
Which one? Maybe not.
Okay. Cat's Eye View by Martin Kuhn. Editorial. It's about time someone let the cat out of the bag. Oh no, we did this one. Ignore that one. Let's see. Have we done all these now?
I don't know.
Oh no, wait, hang on, let me do this one. Yeah, there's a couple along here that are not as... here we go, this one's new. Some of the ones in the back. Love Triangle at love.cats.com. No one was ready for it this weekend when two grooms, Mike Maine Coon and Barry Burmese, both showed up to marry Patty Persian. I have trouble with my browser, she whined. I didn't mean to double-click. It was going so doggone slowly, I thought I better choose again. And as it turned out, her love connection was Mike.
So not either one of them?
Mike Maine Coon.
Oh, Mike Maine Coon.
So, yes, and it's a very small story there. But in this bag is another Joanna Johnson pattern. This is the Anne sweater. I call it the Lake of Shining Waters, and it is from Green Gables Knits. I have also done the armhole section for this one. Actually, I'm probably about the same place for each of them. So, I have my armholes. Probably when I get a little farther along, I'll put it on to try it, but I'm cold right now, I don't want to.
Don't have to.
So, yeah. So this is kind of nice. It's it feels like it's moving along now that I have the armholes done. Not quite as frequent with the increases, so it's a lot more of just going around and knitting. Not that this pattern is one that really requires a ton of focus anyway. It's a nice relaxing knit. So there you go. This will be a nice sweater when I have it.
They're all nice.
Yes, but it's like one of those things. It'd be nice to have that sweater.
Right.
And neither of them have buttons. They're both just relaxing open sweaters.
I like those. Some of my favorite sweaters are just like that, open. I mean, Davina gave me this one for Christmas, and it's open. It's just... I like button-down sweaters, but if I'm just kind of knocking around or whatever... And sometimes,
well, actually, a lot of times those are fairly dressy, too.
Yes, they are. So I really do like them. Let me just finish this part of my stitch here. So... Don't want to waffle too much here, but oops, it's a bunny.
Yes.
I hope everybody has their tea or whatever their beverage of choice is to play. Okay, let me just finish this stitch here. All right, my next one is in my... I'm a little crochet heavy this time around. This is my Comfy Cozy Shawl from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Zattel, and it's in my Ploverbird Teacups bag. Okay, and I did a little bit of work on this. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I was going to work on it when we went for Davina's COVID thing a couple weeks ago, or it was about a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, because it was Good Friday.
No, we were Holy Thursday.
Yeah.
She was the week after.
Right.
So it's been about a week or 10 days for her. And she finally got her notification for her second shot, so we're happy about that. Because I was nervous because they asked us to update her. They asked me to update her stuff. And when I updated her stuff, it came up with a different number. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I hope she's okay. And then a few days later, she got it from the other one. So
we all keep getting like 20 million emails.
Yeah, well, as soon as we all have everything, then we can say don't contact us anywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm afraid if I say don't contact anybody anymore, then everybody's going to get...
Well, all of it's going to do is for you or Davina. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
Like if I say don't contact, it doesn't affect you guys.
No, that's what I mean by all of us.
Yeah.
But But anyway, here's my shawl. I didn't do a whole lot. I did, where is it? Where am I at? I'm going to have to start showing where I was. But here, you can see I'm on the second row.
You have all those
here.
nice progress keepers that you don't use to show where you were.
I know. I have to find them. So anyway, and I've got that beautiful progress keeper that Christina sent me.
Mm.
It's on my burrow wrap. Okay, so that's how it's going along. It's really pretty. I love the colors. And yeah, this is a fun one too. I can just, sit there and do it. And I think most of the yarn is, I have the yarn in here, Miss Babs. It's all Miss Babs actually. So.
Okay, so next is in my, I'm partially debating just because I already have my brain. I have to see how far along I am, but honestly, I already have the really nice orange shawl you knit me. I'm not really sure I need the other Dobbin with a similar color.
Good, maybe we can start mine.
That's my thought process, is start yours, because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to have something almost exactly the same color. And then I have that yarn for possibly something else.
Right.
So I might look at ripping that out and save that yarn for something
What color
else.
was that yarn?
It's an orangey, reddy color. It's got some variegatedness to it. And then I'm using some brown, and I have some like lighter yellow, orangey for sections too. But honestly, I'm a little bit more inclined just to start yours and rip that one out, simply because I think once I got yours, it's like, what's the point really? I have something this color.
Right. You have to decide if you want one knitted, one crocheted, if you have enough.
No, I think it's enough.
Okay, well that's up to you.
I'm not really feeling like I need it.
Well, then don't do it.
Yeah, so I might rip it.
There's no reason to do something you don't want to do.
I think that's partially why I'm not knitting on it. Is because I kind of feel like it's pointless. So, and it provided me hours of knitting, so it's not like I can really complain, and I get the yarn back. So,
But are you showing it, or because you're
no? I just happened to think about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why it came to my brain. So in my Silver Shed USA Bat Signal bag is the Puget Sound. This is the Fundamental Men's Sweater. I'm actually about an inch and a little bit away from being able to start some sort of shaping. And then after I do the shaping for a little bit, I go on to the next piece. So, yeah. It's a pieced sweater, so it's one of those things that it's, sometimes I feel like the piece sweaters feel like they go a little more slowly.
Good, because you know that you have to do different, you've got one side done, but you don't have when you go on the round,
Right, you know that you are completely done with this section,
right,
versus when you're going a pieced sweater, it's like I still have to knit over this area again. Some people probably find that differently. Some people find, I have another thing done.
Right.
I think it's just a different way the brains. I like seeing the sweater build visually. Like, I can kind of already see it forming, whereas that, it's harder to see it forming.
Right. Okay, let's see here. Didn't do anything of that. Okay. In my Mama C Large Owls bag that Christina gave me, made for me, I love it, is my bag end wrap project from the Burrow Wrap by KF Jones. And this is Dragonfly Fibers mostly. And I'm still in the same color, but I'm working it slowly, as I feel like working at it. I'm not in any hurry. I'm enjoying it. And when I said the owl marker, this is the owl marker that Christina gave me. See, make sure so you can see it. Okay. Can you see it? It's right here. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see on the little screen, so.
Yeah, they can see it.
Okay. So that was a very sweet gift of her. And this is a really pretty color. I'm still working on this. Let's see. I'm about 2/3 the way through making doing this particular color before I can switch colors and switch the pattern. So, yeah. And this my stuff fits much better in this bag. It's a little larger than the one that that Margaret gave me from Awesome Granny.
Yeah, sometimes you have to move things so it actually fits in the bag that you're using.
And I love the bag. I love all the bags.
Yes.
So it's just-
In my... Oh, let me grab the other thing to show. There we go. In my Mama C Tudor bag is my Beatrix Bunny sock. Actually, the designer is going to be releasing it, I think it's next month. You can buy it either in the kit or separately.
She hasn't. I thought she already. She hasn't.
I don't think she has quite yet. I think it's next month. Yarn Love.
Because I saw it in her.
I saw the email.
Newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was saying for next month, but maybe I misunderstood.
I didn't read it all the way through.
So the designer's Yarn Love, and let me show you the pattern. This is the first
that's
sock.
pretty.
So
Very bright.
you guys saw it last week.
Autism awareness.
And I cast on second sock. I used it to create a tutorial video for working magic loop. So just I'm probably about halfway through the ribbing. And that video is actually currently working on getting loaded. I was editing it this morning, so it'll probably go up sometime next week. And I know Mom's been asking for something, a magic loop, for a while.
I find it fiddly.
It's really not too bad. I actually ended up, and it worked out really well for me that I ended up doing this. I have, on my desk, I had those knobby desk pulls. Mm-hmm. Well, the way the desk is, I can actually grab the desk drawer itself and pull it out. And I also have other drawers that are missing their knobby desk pulls. So I took the 2 desk pulls off of that and moved them to the other desk. So what's happening is my magic loop kept catching, and it's, even whether I was working magic loop or just working around, my loop would catch on the desk pulls.
Right.
So now there's nothing to catch on it. I can still open that drawer, and now all my drawers have pulls on them.
Okay, wait a minute. Where did you pull it from?
Okay, so I only had 2 drawers that were missing, because each drawer has the little round pulls.
Right. Oh, you're talking about the actual... Okay. You're talking about the bigger drawers on the sides.
Well, yeah, I moved my ones from the center to the ones on the sides. There were 2 missing on the sides.
Right.
So I took them from the sides and I took them from the center drawer and moved them to the sides. And now every one except the center drawer has a pull.
Right.
So I don't need any new desk pulls, and it doesn't pull on my cord anymore.
Right.
So that is done. It makes my knitting at my desk a lot more happy, because I was getting tired of having to pull every 5 seconds.
Let me just slip this real quick. There. I don't want to leave this where the thing can come off, you know. So my notes just went bye-bye. Fix that in a second.
She just means your screen turned off.
Yep. It's been doing that. You would think it knows. I mean, I keep popping it on again.
Well, it's not like it's smart. You have to tell it how long you want to stay awake. You can set it in settings.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's not consistent, you know. Sometimes I'll have something on and it just stays there. Okay.
Sometimes it depends on what program you're using.
Okay, here we go. Now, let's see. Okay, my next one, I've made a fair amount of progress in this only because I'm ready to start the next section. This is in my Knitties by Bag Monet Sarah bag. This is my Stormy Weather sweater from the Fundamental Woman's Pullover pattern by Jen Hagen Designs. And I finished the ribbing. I just wanted to ask Ty a question before I started on the stockinette. So, yeah, the ribbing's done. Nothing much to show. It's a nice short ribbing. So, not a whole lot to see, but I'm happy that I got the ribbing done. progress. More progress than I've done on a knitted sweater before. So
Well, and then it's going to be clear sailing for a while.
for a while, yep. And then I have to do it over again and hope that it that it's the same size. So that's that. Oops. I hope I didn't knock anything over.
I don't see anything knocked over.
Okay, so that's all I had to say about that.
Okay, so, and my last one, in my Mama C Bunnies bag is Hot Stuff, which is my Walking to Town from Emma Knits by Joanna Johnson. I think I only worked a little bit on this. This is using the very last of my Dragonfly Fibers Airport Hot Sauce. And I did maths and gauge swatch to make sure that it would use up my yarn and that I would have enough.
Very nice.
So I'll be happy to have something that's completely in this yarn, because I've used this yarn a lot in color work. I had originally bought it for a sweater, and when I got tired, bored, whatever the pattern, and I stopped knitting the sweater, and then I just used it in every other project. This has been in Christmas stockings. It's been so many patterns, so many designs. So it kind of feels appropriate for it to get its own thing for the very last bit of it. It's almost saying a fond farewell to a very faithful yarn.
Personification. Okay.
Well, I think like they might still have the color, but they called it something else. I think.
Yeah. All right. Let me set that up. I don't think I have any more patterns, so any more projects.
And I don't either. So that leads us on to, do you have any graphic novel? Oh wait, no, that leads us to FOs. I apologize.
FOs. I don't have any FOs.
I don't either. That's why I forgot about it.
Let me just put this where it belongs before I forget where it goes.
You have no graphic novel, right?
No graphic novel.
Okay, well, I'll go on to Beads and String. So, for Beads and String, well, the one thing I absolutely finished, I can't show you because it's already been sent off. I finished that on the Our Lady Entire of Knots rosary, so that's already off to the person I sold it to. I did finish, I'm close to finished. I just need to cut off loose ends for these other ones. Okay, this one. Alrighty. So I changed up Mom's cord for paracord for her Holy Family Rosary, because the other cord wasn't. It was a strong cord, but it wasn't paracord. I hadn't found this source.
And
yet.
I'm a little hard on my rosaries.
She's very hard on the rosaries. I have my migraine rosary does not have paracord, and I sleep with it, and it's held up like 10 times better than her one that I made.
I've broken this twice.
Yes, with the different cord. So now she has the new cord, and it's supposed to be able to handle 90 pounds worth of pressure. So if she breaks this one,
I get to join Celeste and Super People.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although, as far as I know, Celeste hasn't broken the one I made for her with the paracord.
No. Paracord will be fine. The other one's on a paracord, and I've been fine with that.
Yeah. So she's just a little bit rough on her stuff. But like I said, this is paracord. So, oh no, I'm not giving this to you because I had to trim the edges. Right. And she chose to go with the, no, this is the royal blue. Wait, no, this is electric blue. Royal blue is the other one. No
surprise there. Really. I like my blues.
And I have a couple more blues coming in that I didn't have before. And then this one is, what's this? Was that you or Davina? Was that you talking to Davina?
No, I was just mumbling to myself.
Okay, good. The only reason why I said is because I thought she was really close.
Oh, right. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
So, this is for Davina's birthday. This, and actually, apparently it's the Saint's feast day today.
Yes, it is.
Kateri or Kateri, I'm not quite sure the pronunciation. Davina says it's Kateri,
yep.
So I'm going to believe her. Tekawitha, and Davina really likes her. But she wanted a I would have gone with a wood rosary myself, but Davina wanted a metal one. Or I think I'd asked her if she preferred metal or wood rosaries, and she said she preferred metal. She doesn't know about this. I chose for Rose her flower, Our Father beads, because the nickname she's called by is Lily of the Mohawks. And yeah, so I will end up trimming this later, trimming the edges and getting it ready for her birthday in May. Later on, I'll make one out of wood.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still have the flower Our Father beads, though.
Because that looks very similar to the St. Therese, but not exactly. Because it has different centerpiece and...
Yeah. Well, the St. Therese one actually is all roses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has small rose beads and large rose Our Father beads. So it's actually quite different.
Quite different, okay.
And I wouldn't have normally done this bright pink, but it's for Davina.
Oh, she probably would have been fine with the pink, too.
Yeah. I probably would have gone with the dark green, to be quite honest with you, or like...
Right, that one would have been a little bit different for her.
Yeah, or I would have gone with a white or any kind of green. Brown. That kind of thing.
She's not into that.
She's not into that. I mean, I guess because of lily... lilies are usually white, aren't they?
Lilies are white, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, I mean, they do have different colors, but...
Yeah. But that, yeah, finished that for her. And then... Let's see. Showed this one. Oh, yeah, this one, is going to be for the shop. I'm hoping to put it up with Mother's Day in mind.
Is that another, what one is that?
This one's called, Blessed Among Women.
Oh, okay.
And this has a mother and child, so Mary with baby Jesus as centerpiece, and it's surrounded by roses.
Very nice.
Rose Our Father beads. Nice, simple. Well, this is my base crucifix, the one that I go to when I don't want anything like super fancy, but I still want something pretty. This one happens to have a pink cord, but it can be any of the cord colors.
I would do light blue.
Yeah, light blue would be really pretty too. I wanted to try out this new pink cord because this one for Davina's is neon pink. This is the new pink I had come in.
Right.
And I wanted to make something with that one. Then next, this is an order that somebody had. They wanted a...
Oh, isn't that pretty?
They wanted navy blue and wood beads for sacrifice beads. And they wanted the 10-inch. So...
That's going to be a big, I wonder if he or she has a bigger wrist.
He or she might have a bigger wrist, and they also might like a looser...
Right.
Fits. They might like it to slide down more. So... but they picked their size, and I specified what that means in the thing. So, I just need to trim edges on that too. I finished this yesterday. And this is using Midnight blue. This is actually the first time I've used this color in a
That's a pretty blue.
rosary.
Very dark.
It is very dark. And then this one was a special order. I can't actually get this cord anymore. But luckily for her, I still had some. This is, you guys will recognize the cord if you remember this rosary. This is the mental health rosary, with the Saint Nymph in the centerpiece. And the gold crucifix. I don't have the gold crucifix attached yet. And here's all the really bright colored beads and the
Davina
bright
loves
cord.
hers.
It has gold Our Father beads. So this person really wanted the way it looked in the picture. After I make this one, I'm going to make one with the cord that I currently have available, so I can take down the pictures of the cord I won't have anymore. Side people aren't going to be looking for that cord.
Yeah, they won't be disappointed.
I mean, I don't have it as an option, but I need to make another one in a different cord color. Just so that way, like I said, people aren't disappointed. Because as I told the one person, I have only enough for like 2 rosaries. There we go. And it only comes in a big set. And I'm not getting this kind of cord anymore. If I could get it by itself, maybe I would get just that color. Because most people seem to like that color. But I can't get it by itself.
Okay, anything else?
That's it for beads and string.
Okay, what's next?
That leads us on to
Stash enhancements?
stash enhancements.
Okay.
We had the tea, and I showed.
Did
the
we
mug
do
already.
our shop later, or I forget?
We usually do shop later.
At the end. Okay, I
Yeah.
can never remember.
Usually
Okay.
do shop right before reading.
Okay. Stash
I mean,
enhancements.
sometimes we're flexible about it.
Yeah, stash enhancements. I don't have a whole lot. One of the things is over there. I got one of my 2 sets of glasses came in. They're basically reading/computer glasses. If I tried to put them on right now, I wouldn't be able to see anything looking out there because it's not meant for that.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't choose to wear them today. But I also got the tea that we had today was part of the stash enhancement from Plum Deluxe.
Yes.
This chocolate mint like the cookie.
And I
oolong
ran
tea.
through the ingredients at the
So
beginning.
this, and I gave Taya one, and
Yes.
then
so she was very sweet.
I'm gonna get another one because I need to make sure I have enough
That
of that.
was really good. Yeah.
And then I did a Blender's Choice, which they sent me easy like Sunday morning herbal tea, which is everything feels easier after a calm cup of this blend: honeybush tea, cocoa nibs, lavender, chocolate essence, and no caffeine, no love and gratitude either apparently. This, as you can tell, I like my chocolate teas. And
Yeah,
you know, this
she
is,
drinks primarily.
and then this is one I hadn't heard before. This little, it's called Garden Grove Green Tea.
I haven't heard of that one either.
A green tea full of. Oh, you have to read that. I can't read without my glasses.
A green tea full of easygoing flavor. Find your zen. Green tea, jasmine flowers, rose petals, dried cherries, vanilla essence, love and gratitude has caffeine. Now, I could well have something like that, but I don't usually drink a lot of... I tend to gravitate toward my black teas, so a lot of my herbals and greens don't get drunk nearly as much. I have boxes I haven't touched in a while.
I tend to do the oolongs, the rubios. Although this one that we did today does have some black tea. It's the second ingredient, not the first.
Yeah.
And so I don't like it when it gets a little bitter. So I have to take a page out of Taya's book or out of Emma's. She was saying that she also doesn't steep the black tea as much.
It depends on the black tea. Like for the Irish one, you do have to steep it for the shortest amount of time. The St. Patrick's Day one, because then it's not nearly as bitter. It's actually really good that way.
Right.
I finished mine.
And that's after I gave her mine.
Yes.
So yeah, we love our tea, and this is amazing. And yes, we will be doing the parks again as soon as we can sit down and determine which one we're going to
Oh
do.
yeah, we need to do that.
It's your turn. Well, we decided that we're going to...
We did it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is good. That was my stash enhancement. I don't think I have anything else stash enhancement wise.
Okay, I have some. So
Well, she's finding it. I will tell you what we
yeah.
were alluding to, and that was the St. Paul's class that we're taking, an actual St. Paul's class
yeah, online.
online.
We're what's it called? Auditing.
Yes, we're auditing.
Yeah. So Joanna Johnson very nicely sent me.
Bookmarks.
Well, here's one of the cards from. I think this is. Oh, this is one of her books.
Yeah, that's I can't see it.
I think it's someone's hat.
Yeah, I think you're right because I don't see the platypus in
This
there.
isn't the platypus one. This
Yeah.
is somebody's hat. And
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of this particular book. I love her husband's artwork.
Yes, very, very nice. Very
It
whimsical.
is so cute.
Yep. He's very good.
I mean, you could see the bunny here going down. Like those
There's
are
a
like
turtle,
little
too.
round sleds.
Yes, little saucer sleds.
Yes. You feel like you're going out of control when you go down one of those.
The bugs out there in
And
the
then-
middle of snow.
And then there's like the when they have their own
Yeah.
skiing stuff. And then there's the bird talking to the beaver.
Maybe? Yeah, something
Looks
like
like
that.
a beaver tail.
Yeah.
I did.
It's beautiful.
Honestly, even though the books are meant for kids, I just like looking at the artwork in them. Because they make me happy. They're just so cute. And what did you get your bookmark?
I didn't.
Okay, so one of these I'm giving to you.
Thank you.
She had some extra Little Women Knits bookmarks, so I has. I should probably give one as a prize if I'm a nice person.
Put it in the
Yeah,
in one of the prizes.
yeah. You don't have the prizes over here, do you?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, one of these will be a prize.
In the prize.
In the prize.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't want to get it damaged. I'll put this over here. So I made sure I had the one that wasn't against the where she wrote to me because that kind of got
Right.
some of the writing on it.
Right.
And I don't mind if mine has a little bit of that on there.
Right.
Because the letter was to me. So very sweet.
She didn't blot the letter.
I don't think people don't blot letters anymore.
I do sometimes, or if I don't blot it, I will put a Kleenex or tissue paper between it and whatever I put inside.
You used to read it a lot in like Agatha Christie or Dorothy L. Sayers. They'll be looking for something that someone wrote like before their death or whatever, and if they can't find that, they'll be looking for the blotting paper to see if they can get any clues off the blotting paper.
Well, it was interesting because the movie we watched yesterday was an Ida Lupino movie, and he took, I guess it's not the blotting paper, it's the blotter, the thing that you go like this. It's like it looks kind of like a bottom of a rocking horse.
Oh,
okay. It looks kind of, and he took that and put it up against the mirror, and then he was able
oh, well,
to,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, that was really interesting. I'd never heard that done. That was kind of cool.
No, I've never seen it done in a book or anything, but I think, depending... Oh, no, that would have been about the same time period.
It looks like a boat.
No, I can picture what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's got like it's pretty hefty. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you hit
You
somebody
probably
with that.
hurt someone with
hurt
that,
someone,
yeah.
So, yes, the victim has all these letters on his head where you hit him with it, But yeah, the movie was like 1941 or something like that, or something like that.
So that's about concurrent with...
But it wasn't, the time period wasn't that time. The time period was more like they had horse and carriage and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So what I wanted to show was something I picked up. I'm part of 5 Dinners, 1 Hour, and I'm hoping maybe, depending on how much if I get disability and how much I'm able to get for that, I'd like to go to the, not only the classic clamps, but the clean eating as well, because then you get the clean eating recipes too, because some of them are quite good. You get some really good fish recipes out of that. But someone was doing a prep day for the recipe. 5 Dinners, 1 Hour, you prep 5 dinners in 1 hour, and you can either cook them then or cook them later. They talk about how much you prep beforehand and then what you do on cooking day. And what they had was a lot of times to save on cleaning, they'll have you squish things in a
Ziploc.
Mix it in a Ziploc and then squish it in there. This contraption is meant to hold your Ziploc open and make sure... This is my first time playing with this, so I know it goes up.
It might probably not be the best time.
There we go. So, yeah, I'll play with this later. But they're supposed to run even.
You can see where you have to clip it. You have the clip right
you
here.
Clip it there, and then it'll keep... One of the things that when I make tomato soup and I do it this way, I'm always afraid of the tomato soup spilling all over the place. And I'm going to try this first with a recipe that's not tomato soup to make sure that it'll stay. But yeah, I'm
put it
kind
on top of a brownie pan or something. The pan that I use for
That's a
brownie
good idea,
that doesn't have the curve on it, just a regular baking pan.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. There we go. I know there's got to be an easier way.
It might just have to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. And this wasn't the exact brand they used, but the exact brand they used wasn't available. So I tried to go for the highest rated one that had the best amount. I got 6 of them. I mean, they're not terribly expensive. And if I decide I don't like this brand, I'll know for the future. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. And hopefully, that gives me some more hands-free and a little bit more confidence that I won't make a mess. I've always enjoyed them, and they are very good for my energy levels. They're very adjustable. I'm just going to run through some of the recipes that are this week's, because I end up, I won't make all of them this coming week, but I still have stuff in the freezer and fridge from last week. I just needed to put together a menu, because Mom needed something from the grocery store. And I was like, well, I might as well put together a menu and just save the ingredients for later and know that this is what I'm making next. One of them I am going to make right away because I have some dairy-free cream cheese I didn't know what I was going to do with. And I didn't realize that one of my recipes had it in there. I was like, oh, well, perfect. Now that won't go bad.
Right.
Because we're getting kind of close on that date. So I'll make that right away. That's the cheese enchiladas. So obviously I'm going to be going dairy-free with that.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be good. So that one I'll make first. And then there's a sweet and sour pork.
Yummy.
And pumpkin breakfast cookies. Let me pull up page 2. What's nice about them... Go ahead, Mom. Yeah. What's nice about them is they give you a shopping list. So you put in all the recipes that you plan on making that period of time. And then when you go to print it out, it puts all your recipes together on one page, or 2 pages, depending on how many recipes you have. And then on another page or 2, they have a list of all the ingredients you need to pick up in checklist formats. You could, go through your larder, figure out what you already have, and then you can decide what you're going to buy and take this list with you when you go shopping or when you're shopping online. And it'll tell you what ingredient you need, the amount you need, and what meal that ingredient's associated with. Like, I have a couple of ingredients that are associated with several different recipes, which is always nice when that happens. So the pumpkin breakfast cookies. This one sounded really good. Baked ham and egg cups. And this one's one that I wouldn't necessarily have to... sorry, brain. This is one that I wouldn't freeze or anything. I would make it pretty close to the time that I plan on eating it. Also, same idea, bacon and spinach muffin tins. So same general idea, except this one has spinach in it. Mom, the ones that you missed were the baked ham and egg cups.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's got sliced ham, cheddar cheese, egg.
That's what I thought was familiar.
I don't think I've made that one. I might make.
I don't think you
similar.
made it. I think you've talked about something similar.
I might have. And then this one's the bacon and spinach muffin tins.
Ooh.
Doesn't that sound good? You got egg, spinach, some bacon bits, and then...
I would put some mushrooms in there.
Yeah.
I just saw Laura curl up and go, whoa.
You darn hobbits.
Hobbitses.
Yes. So, several breakfast type options, but I feel like the muffin ones and the last 2 can be used for a second, another meal as well.
Second lunch? Second breakfast?
It can be used for like dinner or lunch
11th?
or whatever. But the pumpkin breakfast cookies.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you look like you're running low on your breakfast thing, maybe we can try this one time. Because I think that'll be really good. And like I said, I'm waiting for my almond meal to come in, which apparently also you can use almond flour for. Okay. This one's already automatically, except for the chocolate chips, and I just made it dairy-free. Everything else is gluten-friendly.
Excellent.
I didn't have to do any adjustments with that.
That's always nice.
The only thing I had to adjust was make it so it had dairy-free. Oh, someone favorited my Tortoise vs. Hare book.
Cool.
Anyway, the only thing I had to change was add dairy-free chocolate chips instead of normal chocolate chips. And I don't put pecans in there. What are pepitas?
Pepitas? They're little, I think they're little seeds.
Oh, okay. Well, they say you can put those in or pecans, and I'm not doing either of those.
If I remember correctly, they kind of look like sesame seeds, but I'm not sure. Made it a little more dense.
And I already had the shredded coconut.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be really delicious. It's going to have a good texture, too, with the coconut and everything. So I'm looking forward to these. And I think you said you're almost done with we're almost done with your pumpkin bread this time around.
We have a couple weeks.
We have a couple weeks. Okay. So I'll probably hold off on making this.
I'll have to take a look in the freezer because we take out serving for Wednesday and Sunday every week. So we'll have to see what's left.
And a couple of these recipes came from extra bundles that members can access. You have to pay a little bit for them, but they are worth it. This was the breakfast bundle. It was breakfast and desserts. They had breakfast and desserts 1, breakfast and desserts 2. And I have a fondness for things that are like egg cups. Or when I saw breakfast cookie. Like,
I like that kind of stuff.
I like that kind of stuff. So for me, they let you see the name of the recipes before you decide whether or not you want the bundle.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
So there were a couple bundles, like, for me, I'm not going to do a lot with a ground meat bundle. That's just not, or it was like the beef bundle or something like that. I don't care for beef that much.
I just switch out with...
But I wouldn't purchase that bundle extra.
Right.
Whereas a breakfast dessert bundle, absolutely. Or the other one was Whole30, which is healthy.
Right.
Or if you have something like, they didn't, but they had slow cooker.
Right.
They had Instant Pot, which I don't care for one way or another.
No.
So I didn't go for that one. But, so there were a couple, I think keto. I did look at the keto one because keto, a lot of times the diet works with dairy, I think it's a gluten-free it works well with.
Right.
So I have looked at keto recipes because it's easier to adjust to my diet.
I remember seeing that, noticing that for keto.
So it's not because I am keto, it just happens to work with some of my restrictions. But as I said, this place works really well with dietary restrictions. The person I watched who gave me the information on the baggie holder things, she does dairy-free and at least partially gluten-free for her. So when I'm watching her, I'm seeing her put her substitutions in so I can get ideas from her.
Right.
And then also get tips from how to better do things quickly, do things more efficiently. They plan it for people who have busy lives and families they need to cook for, but it works really well for people who are chronically ill and have no energy. So, yes. I'd also mention that they have a list on Amazon where you can look through all their suggested cooking things. So, like, if we were to ever need, like, oh, I need a cooking knife, let me see what they suggest. It's probably good. But yeah, so I've been really enjoying that.
Excellent.
So you probably will have a small cooking section every time I have to cook something. This time came a little earlier than normal. You wouldn't have had one normally.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure why, but okay.
Well, they wouldn't have had one today because I wasn't planning on picking up ingredients quite this early.
Right.
But you needed something, and I was like, well...
I must have my peanut butter sandwiches.
I was like, it doesn't kill me to go and pick up this other stuff. Most of it will last. And as it turned out, it was fortuitous, because otherwise we've been wasting the cream cheese.
Right.
So, that leads us on to reading and stuff.
Before shop?
Oh, you're right, shop.
Okay. Do you have shop news?
Other than the fact that someone just favorited my Tortoise vs. Hare book? No.
Okay, I do. I've had a couple of... I sent out my custom order for the large skein of Impressionist. That went out. When I did the Impressionist, I did a couple other skeins as well. Some of these things were in my shop. They were hanging downstairs when I had the last podcast, so you haven't seen it.
Actually, I want to show something really quickly so I don't take attention away from your yarn, because your yarn needs a lot of attention. I was looking at the person who favorited my thing on Tortoise vs. Hare, because you can, when you click on it and see who's favorited, sometimes it shows what they favorite. Look at that pattern that they favorited as well.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Isn't it adorable? It's called Maneki Neko, the Japanese Beckoning Cat, and it's by Nautilus Crochet.
It's cute.
Look at that pattern. Isn't it precious? It's on Etsy. This person who accidentally got stalked by me, I just meant to see who it was who favorited my book, and she favorited this adorable pattern I'm going to hit a heart on. Okay. I just wanted to show that it's Crochet Mom.
Awesome. Okay.
So that part is why I showed you.
The reason I'm pushing it is because Daddy wants to get started, so you can show it to me after the podcast, because I do want to look at it closer. Yeah. Okay. So I did a custom order. Someone asked me to do the large worsted skeins that I have in Impressionist. Now that's sent off. And when I did that, I also did this one. This is a DK weight in the Impressionist colorway. This would actually be a very good autism awareness colorway. I can do it over again if people want different weights, sock weight or whatever. This is... I'm actually playing with the idea if I can find in my stash half skeins or something to do like a shawl or a sock set. But this is my Impressionist. And this will be going up in the shop as soon as I'm able to take pictures. Just put this aside here. And when I did the large skeins of my Lothlorien, I also did some smaller skeins.
Mom, is it possible, you were talking about mini skeins, is it something that you could do, like you would say mini skeins in random shades of blue, and then people could pick it up like for like blankets and stuff in mind, and then you could just be like, okay, well you would get, I don't know, 2, 3, 5 mini skeins in random blue. You don't know what blues you're going to get, you just know it's going to be in this general theme. Yeah, do you think that would be something interesting?
Well, that's a question. If you're interested in that, I can do that. I can say, okay, shades of blue, mystery, minis. Shades of red, shades of green, shades of... I can do that. If people want that kind of stuff, I have to make sure
because
I can get
there's plenty
minis.
of people who like doing mini blankets.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily want... They don't always want to pick their colors. So that's sometimes part of the fun, is that you just know your general theme, and then you get... Like, it's like when they get those...
The mystery bags.
Those mystery bags.
It would be... If I did something like that, first of all, I'd offer it in 20 grams. Probably.
It'd be a good way to try new colors, too.
Yes. You might get a solid. You might get all solids. You might get variegated and solids. You might get all
you
variegated.
might maybe even say...
I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay, so that's... Yeah, that'd be cool.
No, I'm going to relieve the pressure on myself.
Yeah.
It's going to be a true mystery minis. If I do this, I have to see what I have available. But if I do it, there will be DK version and fingering sock version, 20s and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
But you
like...
think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I don't like doing the... I might not do the 10s. I honestly don't like dyeing up the 10s. I'll have to see if there's an interest in the 10s. But the 20s are definitely doable. And I actually was thinking about doing kind of a mystery offering even for my regular yarns, where, okay, mystery yarns, blues, greens, reds, it's a mystery, whatever, if people have an interest in that, I might do something like that. I was thinking about that actually. So yeah, that's a possibility, okay, depending on what I can get.
So sorry to interrupt you. That the idea came to me, and I was like, yeah, I probably should say it before I lose it, because that might be a good shop idea.
So this is, thank you, this is a impressionist, this is a DK weight, and when I did the Lothlorien for the special order, that person ordered 2 skeins of the large, and I appreciate that greatly. I did 2 skeins of Lothlorien in fingering sock.
It's pretty.
So that's this. And because it's got all the blues, I keep forgetting to do this, but blue is an autism spectrum color. It's bright, but not overly bright, but it's got a preponderance of blue in it. So it could be autism as well. And this is very pretty. Make a nice sock, make a nice hat.
Would.
It's just a pretty colorway, I think.
It's pretty.
Even if I do say so myself. But I'm partial to these colors.
You are.
I need to maybe make some for myself and see what I can make with it. Let's see here. So I have 2 of these to go in the shop when I get pictures taken. Now the next one is a new color, and it's a different method from what I normally do. I do this method on occasion. I think I actually did the custom Atamiato in this. I'm not sure. This kind of method, I'm not sure. This is a new color. It's called Elisar, which is a Lord of the Rings reference.
I'm currently reading... Well, I'm in kind of in Lord of the Rings kick right now. That's why she got that name.
It's the stone that Aragorn wears, but it's also what he's called.
Right, because he later gets called King Elisar. The stone was passed down through Galadriel, Arwen's family, because Elrond's married to Galadriel's daughter. Yeah, the stone came through the family, and before Aragorn went off towards Gondor, when they went through Lothlorien, she gave him the stone, kind of like as a, preparing for your wedding. We know you're engaged. You're headed to do your thing you're supposed to do to be able to marry Arwen. Here's your stone.
Right. So this is Elisar. It's after him. The stone is green. So this is shades of green. Different pictures show different shades, and it's got a silver setting. So you see some lightness that kind of has that nod toward the setting, which is silver. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And it is a fingering sock, and I have 2 of these. There's 462 yards in this, so this will be going up. It's kind of a tonal, I'd say.
I could see also the Lothlorien cloaks. Because they slip into different shades of green. They kind of shimmer green.
But I already had something Lothlorien.
Oh, no, for sure. But I'm saying is I could see them mimicking that color sometimes, depending on the shadows that they're in. Because if they need it to be deep green, they turn deep green. If they, those cloaks are kind of smart.
So this is Elisar. And then I had another special order, custom order come through. And she kind of said, I like these colors, and show me what you got type of thing. She was interested in Lothlorien, so I did another Lothlorien, and then I did a new colorway, and it's called Enchanted Peacock. Now, before I show you Enchanted Peacock, I'll show you Lothlorien. this is how it looks before I haven't had a chance to reskein it. And I'm not going to take it off the thing because it needs to be reskeined. You can see. It is definitely this color.
Yeah, they're the same.
Okay. Now, that's the big one. Now, Enchanted Peacock, I had fun doing Enchanted Peacock. This is Enchanted Peacock.
It's not fun.
It's blues, greens, purples.
To be fun to knit with.
Yeah. So this is Enchanted Peacock.
The colors made me think a little bit of your sweater that you crocheted.
A little bit, yeah. This is
Yeah, your sweater doesn't have as much blue.
If the person custom order this takes this one, I can do this up. I have the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done. I was thinking about doing this in either a sparkle DK or a sparkle sock.
Did you remember to type it up?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Enchanted Peacock. And Lorianne, as soon as I reskein these, I will take pictures and put them in the shop as well. I'm not sure which, if any of these will be available, but I can redo them.
Yeah.
So, because this was a custom thing, and if she likes both, if she likes one, if she likes both, if she doesn't like any, it's going up in the shop. I'm just not sure how it's going to be listed.
Right, if it's going to be a
So,
custom
and
or private.
if you're interested in that, let me know. I can do it again if somebody else wants it. All right. So this is how it goes in here. I have like 2, 4, I think 6 or 7 skeins of yarn that have to go up in the shop, plus some that I haven't had a chance to put into the shop. My fade set hasn't gone up yet, and things like that. I just haven't had a chance to put the labels on, and so I put the labels on those. I can take pictures and start putting those in the shop. So I should have either several small updates or one large update. I haven't quite decided, or maybe a few medium updates, just depending on how I decide to do it. So keep your eye on the shop. There will be things in there, and more things coming in as well. If you have certain colors you'd like to see, or certain colorways that I've already done that you'd like to see, and in what basis, let me know, and I will try to get those up for you.
That leads us on to reading, writing,
Arithmetic. Let's not do arithmetic. Okay. I haven't really done any writing, although I've been feeling the actual kind of pull to do it. I hope to do some writing later. Once the COVID stuff slows down, the COVID shots slow down, I'm hoping that things will even out a little bit. And
well, also you had taxes to worry about.
Yeah. I did get the ones for my shop done. I put that in yesterday, so that's done. But we have to get with the extension. My husband was like, "Oh my gosh," he said, "You're a small business. You have to get it out." I said, "No, we do it jointly. I'm a hobby business, so we do our taxes jointly. So if I'm going to do it jointly, I have to do it with him."
Right.
So that's good. But we have to pull our stuff together and do it. But once all this stuff gets done, I'm hoping by the middle of May, everything. Mike seems to think he'll be going back to work full time, but so I'll know my schedule a little better. And I'm already trying to even things out. I've cut a whole bunch of unnecessary, kind of wasteful kind of computer things out, although tiny houses.
Have you gotten back on tiny houses?
They did it. I
thought you kicked that habit.
I did, and then somebody put it on after Easter. I didn't go looking for it.
I thought you were. You need to go to Tiny Houses Anonymous. THA.
Tiny House. I am not going to look at any more of them. I'm going to go cold turkey and not look at them. So, because they're a time waste. They actually really are a time waste, and I don't have that time. I'm finally getting to the point where I get my housework done, I get some dyeing done, I get some crafting done. I might be able to slide some writing in, so along with my physical activity. So I need to. Tiny houses can't be a part of that. So, unfortunately, and so I'm hoping that I will get more yarn in the shop that way. But I have been reading and writing. I hope to get more writing in. I have been reading My Daily Prayer 2021 and Mother Teresa and the Dragonback series. I'm on book 5 out of 6. I think I put the Bible in a year. No, yeah, I put the Bible in a year away. I'm not reading that right now because it's just I don't have
the time.
I don't have. Well, it's
one more thing.
It's not the tan one. It's another book that I had started.
Was it the one that you gave me too?
No, it was the leather book that I have. It's a leather book set. It's part of the set. Okay. You have Mary in a year, Bible in the year.
Oh, something else. Okay.
Yeah, and so, but we're doing Flourish, and we're doing that. Jesus, the Way, the Truth, and Life. I had to get.
those last two books are doing jointly.
Yeah, and I hadn't had a chance to do A Woman for Our Times or The Divine Office, but I am doing Abandonment to Divine Providence and what was the other one? I picked up some books from BookBub. That one is about a priest who is trying to solve his wife's murder. Priests don't.
That wasn't from BookBub. That was an older one. That Dad gave you that one.
Okay, well that one, the priest was married before he became a priest, and then she died, and it turns out she was murdered. So he's kind of trying to solve the murder. And then one of them is a librarian, kind of cozy.
That one
She's
is
working
from
with a
BookBub.
ghost. That's from BookBub. And then of course Dragonback. So I'm reading several books at one time. I get on the treadmill and I read those books, and I think that's all of them that I'm reading right now.
For me, it's like I am reading a fair amount, but I also didn't start reading really this week until later in the week. I was having a lot of problems getting any sort of brain power going. That's why I also didn't write until today. I did write on the shared story, but I waited till today. But book-wise, well, the ones that Mom and I are doing together, I have Northanger Abbey March here, so I must have listened to it at the beginning of the week, a little bit of it, because I haven't listened to it since then. Toward the beginning of the week, or at some point during the week, I read a little bit of Silmarillion. But not as much as I would have liked, simply because that requires a little bit more brain power. I have started for the Patreon, the new program, I guess you would say, that we're doing for Patreon.
New section,
The Reading Corner. And I'm reading Lady Susan by Jane Austen aloud. So I've read through about half of that book, recorded all those chapters, and I'm just in the process of editing that. 2 of the chapters are up. Probably will be about 4 chapters a week. 2 of them each. It'll be done twice a week, 2 chapters each day of those days, because the chapters are super short. They're little letters. Unless it happens to be a longer letter, in which case then it will be only 1 letter a day. So, I also started reading Poirot and Me by David Suchet, and it's just really interesting reading about how he got into character and how he was determined not to just treat Poirot as a comic character, to take him as seriously as Poirot takes him. How he looks at his playing a character as almost like he's defending that character. Like he is determined to represent the character the way the author intended them to be represented. And he's very protective of that character. So reading that is very interesting. Apparently he would go around and hand a list of Poirot. This is what Poirot does, and every time he got a new director, he'd hand that list to them to make sure they understood that this is what Poirot did. Do not make Poirot act outside it. On number whatever. Remember, Poirot doesn't do that. Or Poirot would do this. Started Lord I guess it's pronounced Edgware, even though there's not an E in there.
Yeah.
Lord Edgware Dies by Agatha Christie. I'm sure I've read it at some point. It wasn't one that I read multiple times, though.
Yeah. That one that comes up a lot on the movies, on the shows.
And then I finished reading. Let me scroll up. Okay. Finished reading Mishaps Heroes, Magic and Minstrel. I think I must have finished that on Sunday. By Kendra K.M. Merritt. 5 stars. Absolutely loved that. The other 2 are still on pre-order, though, so I can't continue the series until those are done. They give you a quick peek into the next first chapter of the next book.
Timothy Zahn does that.
Yes, he does. I don't always read that. Because
sometimes I do.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. But I then was reading a book, got for free on BookBub. I've changed my setting so I don't get the cozies anymore, because I think my definition of cozy is different than their definition of cozy. I'm thinking of the older definition of cozy mystery, which is where Agatha Christie and Dorothy L. Sayers, where they had specific rules and they followed those rules. I think cozies now are a bit of a lighter fare, and I don't like them very much. I've come to realize I might be a bit of a cozy mystery snob, where I like a certain kind. I like Agatha Christie type of mysteries, and I get disappointed when the cozy doesn't meet my high expectations.
We just picked up a book that said it was in the Agatha Christie Conan Doyle style. So.
Yeah, so hopefully that will be good. But this was called An Oxford Murder. Initially I gave it 2 stars, then I felt bad, so I then moved it up to 3 stars. But I wasn't happy with it. I just didn't think the characters were well done. And I thought that I thought that her way of solving the plot wasn't well done. People who are British said that as an American she really shouldn't have been writing this because you could tell that she was American because she just...
You have to do your research if you're going to do that.
And she didn't do it very well. So, to be fair for her, though, she was really good description of clothes. Like, I could see what the lady was wearing. So that's something she was good at. Last book I read was Death in the Clouds by Agatha Christie. It was my, I'm going to read a cozy mystery I like response.
Stomp.
So, of course, 5 stars. That was a really good one. And that's all for that.
Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't have anything for life stuff, and we're getting very long.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. But, and we probably should, I have to start lunch before we do our rosary, so we need to close up. But we do want to thank everybody who commented either on YouTube or on our PHN home. We're very appreciative for any and all comments. If I don't mention your name, it's because I didn't see you. I was able to get 2 that kind of squeaked in under the wire this morning. Mm-hmm. We want to thank Emma, Meditative Crafter, Stephanie, Steph, Laura, Andrea, 2 Andreas. Oh, 1 Andrea. I put it twice. Paula and Gail. Where's the rest of them? I know that Brittany said something, and so did Looney Hiker. For some reason, it didn't transfer onto this particular thing. So,
that's weird.
Thank you very, very much for your comments. We always do appreciate them. And we wish you all a very blessed weekend and week full of knitting and crocheting and crafting and all the things that make you happy. We hope you will join us again next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 450, and that's a wrap.
Bye.